Ah, Persephone returns to the overworld.
No real need to write out the whole intro thing since it's an impromptu stream anyway. I was just trying to wait out the ads. Welcome everybody. I'm streaming in the morning. I'm going to be seeding on Soul Sniper server. Should be normally it's seeded by now. Normally I don't get a chance to seed because it's already seeded by like 7 a.m. But it's not quite seeded yet. So I'm going to stream while I'm seeding on that, and I'm also working on some stuff, testing some stuff out. So we'll be trying that as well. As a matter of fact, let me check something here. Let's see if this works. Hey, BattleX. Failed to call action wake. Why did it fail to? Oh, why did it fail to call action wake? It was working last night. Let's try again. Hey, BattleX. Max Oh, I didn't start the. I don't have the thing started. Hold on just a second here. I didn't turn it on auto start. No, it is on auto start. Let's try it. Hey, BattleX. Failed to authenticate. What's going on? Why did it stop working? I don't have authentication turned on. What's the problem? Port 7474. That's not the port. Oh, I've broken shit. You scared? Yeah. Well, so the action worked, but my voice command thing stopped working. It was working last night. Why is it doing 7474? I don't believe that's the correct port. One moment here. This is kind of what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to play a little and I'm going to test a little here at the same time. See if I can find port here. I want import. I want port. Load config, load config. Streamerbot host. Is that in the config file? It is, and it shows 7474. I don't believe that's correct. Let me change it, and we'll see what happens. I may be able to fix it real quick. I'm going to try to fix it real quick, and then we'll see what happens. If it doesn't work, then I'm just going to start playing. All right, let's try this. Hey, BattleX. Unexpected response 501. Why did I get a 501? Oh, good Lord. Why does nothing ever work right the first time? 501 is authentication, isn't it? Not implemented. Oh, good Lord. I'm going to switch it back. And because I don't want to leave something. And we'll switch. Let's kill this. And we'll switch. I was thinking this would be quick. So it's taking longer than I anticipated. Sorry. Just like a real woman doesn't want to listen to. If only I could open a terminal window and issue commands to IRL. All right, let's change this port to 8081. Take your time. At least you aren't dying repeatedly on a flank. Yeah. Let me see if I can get this to come up. Why isn't this coming up? There we go. It's still in the early stages of seeding, so. Okay. Now where was? Did I save this? All right. Let's try this one more time. I thought I had it already. I tested it late into the night and it was working just fine. I thought I had it already for testing. I mean, it's still in the, I haven't implemented a lot yet, but hey, BattleX. Oh, it's not ready yet. Hey, BattleX. Wow. All right, one quick little thing here again. I keep saying quick, but each individual thing is quick. But the collective is taking a long time. Let's see here. I guess, you know what? Maybe I'll let's do this, and then let me add real quick. Let me turn this off. Let me add real quick a display capture. There. And let's reduce this down. Just to fit here. There we go. All right. Now we can see what's going on. It's not going to be that interesting, but it's got to be irritating to hear me typing and not see anything. That's too high up. Let's bring it down. Come on. Scrolly thing. There we go. Okay, that works. All right. All right, I have that. Whoops, I have that ready just in case. Typing, not griping. Nice. Nice. All right, one little thing here. Let's copy my errors here. I'm trying to do a search here to see if I can get a quick answer for why I'm getting 501 errors. If this doesn't return a result, then I'll shut it off for now. Okay. Okay, let's try this. And let's do 88. Oop, I'm giving away my ports. You know what I heard today on YouTube? I heard that Microsoft helped out the FBI to track somebody, and they admitted that they have implemented a system unique identifier that gets attached to all network communication packets. It's unique to an install of Windows, and it gets attached to all network communication packets, and it traverses VPNs. Basically, they can trace you through anything. VPNs doesn't matter. There is no privacy if you use Windows. I mean, normally I'm kind of, in the middle when it comes, because it's not like I'm, an international bank fraudster or something like that. But there are a lot of people, and in this country, we're increasingly approaching that point, that need to be afraid of their own governments violating their rights. Not that they're doing anything immoral or illicit, but that overextension of self-granted rights infringes on, like in this country, potentially your constitutional rights. And I'm not calling out anything specific, and I'm not using this country as an example, because other, more restrictive regimes are more obvious when they do that, when they violate your human rights and call it legal. But you can't trust any corporation, any government to be 100% above board. You have to have the ability to have some level of privacy. And it seems like Microsoft has decided you don't deserve that. Okay, that's still not working. All right, I'm going to restart StreamerBot. And we'll see if that fixes it. If that doesn't fix it, we're done. StreamerBot. All right, let's check the web server here. Servers, web server. Oh, it is 7. Oh, I screwed up. I'm calling the wrong stupid. I'm calling the WebSocket server instead of the web server. Derf. Man, sometimes I knew it had to be something stupid. It wouldn't just, suddenly stop working. It had to be user error of some kind. All right, let's try this. Loading. Hey, BattleX. There we go. Now it's working. No, never mind. I don't have many commands enabled yet. I've just got the voice stuff started working, but within the next couple of days, I'm going to get some commands going so that I can get some voice level commands. The reason I started doing that was primarily I wanted to do voice control so I could set markers on my VODs and on my recordings easily. I wanted to be able to use voice commands while I'm playing, and if I remember it, to set to automatically set markers on the VOD so that when it comes time to edit, I don't have to watch the whole damn thing all over again. Watching like a 4-hour VOD or a 3-hour VOD, every time you want to try to find what you might want to make highlights out of is come on, it's a first world problem, right? But it's a barrier for me getting things done because I dread having to commit that level of time. And markers is one tiny step towards helping mitigate that. The whole clip, the whole automated clip thing isn't quite there yet. If you just clip it on Twitch and try to clip something, then you have to go in and you have to make sure the layout's right, because Twitch's automatic thing kind of screws up the layout most of the time, especially for the talking about for the vertical version. And then you have to go in and tweak on the timeline and try to get that all. It takes too much time, right? Because it would be one thing if Twitch clipped it but didn't publish it, and maybe I need to look into this. Maybe there's a way to do that, and I just am not aware of it yet. But if it clipped it and didn't publish it, and then I could go back and do all the tweaking after the fact to get it narrowed down, that would be better. But by default, it just goes ahead and publishes the clip, and if you don't adjust the timelines, odds are where it sliced up the clip doesn't make a good clip. And it's certainly not making a clip ready to be published to YouTube. So there's a lot of friction in that process that I'm trying to reduce, because the cumulative friction is getting in my way of being able to produce promotional content, highlights and clips and videos and stuff like that. And I know myself well enough to know that just trying to buckle down to do something that is causing me dread doesn't work for me. So I need to reduce the friction. So I'm trying to implement tools to do that. And then once I started implementing some voice tools, I thought, okay, well, if I'm going to make voice control, it'd be kind of boring if I just have text chat responses. I should at least have some canned voice responses to my commands. And then I started thinking, okay, well, what if I add some other functionality? Like I've been intending to do the welcome back stuff for the first time chat of the day, which let me see if this works. Hold on a second. There's fetch chat history. Where is reset first words? All right, Persephone, try chatting again if you're still here. I think I reset first words, so it should think that you just got here. I think. Right now I've only got it turned on for Persephone and one man because I figured...
Persephone returns to the overworld. Okay,
it worked. So what I'm intending to do is I'm going to offer that as a like a VIP or a subscriber benefit, where it's just a little thing, but you get recognized and greeted when you come back. Why is chat not coming up now in my thing here? Hold on, my chat tool is not working. I see it over here, but my chat thing is not. So many things. Okay, Discord thing is working. Why is this not working? My chat tool quit working, so I can't see chat now. Let me test. It's not working at all. Can't even send. Oh, good Lord. Completely blank. Well, that's going to be a problem. Because if I can't see chat, that kind of puts a kink in my tail here. Let me try YouTube. And we'll switch over to YouTube and see. Yeah, that's why I have that, because I can't see chat from there. All right. We'll go the long way around here. One of the problems with some of this stuff is that I can't test it if I'm not actually streaming, which presents, a challenge. You actually have to have a live stream, which means you're, out there. Let me test this. Okay, that's not working. I heard the boink of my test thing, but I certainly don't see it. Activity is probably not working either. All right, well. Let's restart this. I wonder if I've got it. No, that's port 550. It shouldn't be a problem. Let me edit this. Get my command line. Where's my command line? do this again. CMD. I wish I don't have a good feeling that Linux is where it. I wasn't talking to you. Yeah. Bite me. Oh, it picked up on Linux. It thought I said BattleX. Let's see. Where am I going here? CD. No, I don't need a CD there. I can just do this. Is that right? No, that's not right. Control C. CD web. There we go. All right, now let's try. I bet it lost connection to the WebSocket server. Yep, because the WebSocket server is turned off because I screwed it up. Okay, now let's try a test chat. There we go. Now I'm seeing it. Crisis averted. I almost screwed myself over there. Okay. Let's get everything shut down. I am a bit concerned. I'm not sure what the performance. I went out of my way to try to mitigate performance issues with this always on voice where it's always listening for me to say, hey, BattleX. Never mind. To try to keep the performance footprint as small as possible. But that means it's a bit more convoluted than it needs to be. I don't know if you guys, I don't know if there's anybody on that is like tech savvy and has worked at all with any of this stuff, but OpenAI's Whisper voice recognition open source software is pretty freaking good. It works pretty well. All right, time to play. Is there a squad I can join? I don't see one. I could make a squad. It's still seating. It's only 1919 right now, so man, I'm already just dripping with sweat. I'm not entirely sure how long I will last if the heat keeps escalating. Because at some point I'm going to start getting warnings that my computer's temperature is starting to creep up into the uncomfortable zone. I can't risk my computer, so I've got alarms set pretty low. I can't afford to have heat-related issues. All right, let's just jump in. Drop some supplies south. Hopefully I don't have to interact with too many people here. I don't want to be, like try hard during seating. Okay, it's a little, what's my frame rate at? Frame rate's okay, but it's a little stuttery. Hopefully that's not going to be a problem. Let me try. Hey, BattleX. Hey, Battle X. Never mind. Okay. That didn't cause any major hiccups. Ooh. I almost got strafed. I didn't think you could strafe when it wasn't seated yet, but... Not that I'm, you know, like a rule stickler, but... Why have rules if you're not going to stickler them? Oh, shit. Of course, there's somebody down there. Oh, the game's almost over, that's why. The match, I mean. Ugh. Sorry about the constant face drip and wiping, but... It's supposed to cool down the next couple of days after today. Cool down, meaning back into the 80s. Which is sufficient. I should be able to deal with that. And then there's going to be a couple of days next week that are going to push 100 again, if not break 100, which there's no way I can. If I stream on those days, it's going to have to be early morning. It was miserable last night trying to sleep. I mean, it never got below 80 in my house overnight. What was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about some of the friction towards getting editing done. One other thing I did is I wrote something to. So when I let's say I record locally, you'd be glad when fall is back. Yeah, me too. The cold doesn't bother me, doesn't make me uncomfortable as much as the heat does. I get uncomfortable in the heat. I can handle it, but it's very uncomfortable. The cold, I'm less uncomfortable in the cold than I am the heat, but autumn is perfect. You know, it's that sweet spot. I wrote a tool. So if I record at full resolution, which is I run in 3440 by 1440. If I record that to get full high res footage, and I record it for an entire stream, you know, that's even using the H.265, that's going to be pushing 200 gigabytes file size. Well, that's miserable to try to scrub through for me, because my machine is not, you know, beefy. So I wrote a tool to use FFmpeg and go through, and since Hell Let Loose footage, when you get to the end, you have the next match in countdown timer, which lasts like a minute 40 seconds between when the match ends and the next match begins. So that gives me like a break point between matches that I can identify. So I'm using FFmpeg to take a screen grab of every 90 seconds, or no, I'm doing 60 seconds. Every 60 seconds, it takes a frame grab and checks that spot on the screen to see if that indicator is up. And if so, it flags it, and then it creates a window around there that then it goes back and actually replays that 60 seconds and looks for that when it breaks down to next match in 01 second. And then it splits the file there. And it works pretty well. So it's allowing me to take that, you know, 150 to 200 gig file and break it up into 350 gig or 60 whatever gig files, which again isn't a really big deal. It's just a little thing, but it helps reduce that friction. to help make it easier for me to do the editing. I have to treat myself like a toddler sometimes, where I have to set things up to reduce all the friction and make it basically take away all of the emotional objections that I have, not logical objections, but the things that make me feel like shit when I try to do something, in order to trick myself into doing it. It's sad. I didn't used to be like this. But part of the mental, emotional problems that I've gone through since my breakdown a few years ago is that that emotional regulation, that ability to just, hitch up your pants and carry on, fight through the emotional resistance is pretty much gone. If my emotional resistance gets too high to something, I just avoid it. My brain just shuts down and starts thinking about it, just completely derails itself into thinking about something else. Like I will be sitting here thinking about something that starts upsetting me and starts making me get close to panicky. And without intentionally trying to do it, I'll immediately start thinking about something else, whether I want to or not. It's like somebody else seized control and started steering the vehicle, and my conscious mind isn't in charge anymore for a brief second. It's not like I go full psychosis, but for a brief moment, I'm not in charge anymore, which then, starts this loop of then I start panicking about that and blah, blah, blah. And it just becomes debilitating. It's one of the things that is related to why I can't work anymore and why I'm trying to do these technical things, why I can't do the work I used to do before. And why I'm trying to do these technical things for myself related to the stream is because somehow I've managed to convince myself that these things are inconsequential to the point where they don't trigger my panic reaction about whether or not it's going to work. Whereas if I try to do work for hire, I'm in panic mode the whole time. It's like it's just constant ultra stress, fight or flight. The hormones just overwhelm my system to where I'm sweating and I'm shaking, and I just want to get up and run away from the computer the whole time I'm working on stuff. And it's completely outside of the realm of reason. It's totally unreasonable. It makes no sense, and there's no logical reason why I should feel that way while this is going on. Because this is not I know intellectually that that's not what kind of situation this is, that this is not one of those situations. Like there's not somebody with a gun on me. There's not a tiger bearing down on me, it's not one of those situations, but I lost the ability to push that stuff down and get control of it when it starts happening. And it's humiliating to realize that you're not as in charge as you think you are. But I do these little things like with the bot and stuff like that to try to find a way to work my way back into being able to do that kind of work. And the thing is, in my career, I had started to pass the point, where I was actually having to do a lot of the work. And instead I was going to meetings and I was doing all that kind of stuff. That's actually worse. That's actually worse than doing the programming, for me in terms of triggering my responses. And it manifests in anger. I get angry with people. I get angry at situations. I get angry at inanimate objects when I feel like it's creating an environment of failure where I'm going to fail, where whatever my responsibilities are, I'm going to fail at those responsibilities. And once you in programming, especially in software development, especially if you're working for a company of any size, you know, they've got these policies and these structures in place where you're put in circumstances of failure as that's the norm. You're constantly being set up to fail, because over the last few decades, management has fallen for all of these methodologies and trends and whatnot, and gotten to this point where all of the bullshit that gets in the way of defining what needs to be done, designing a plan to get it done, and executing that plan, and then evaluating after, you know, that whole paradigm is no longer what's driving things. So if you're in a situation where you're actually having to participate with, you know, negotiate with people who are in that paradigm of the, you know, this new paradigm of bullshit, every situation, every conversation, every email, every meeting is just a beating your head against the wall situation where you can see failure staring you in the face. And you can see the bus heading for the cliff. And your entire team's on board. And in some cases, maybe the entire division or the company are all on board, and you're driving right for the cliff. And upper management is standing there to the side waving while you're heading for the cliff. And there's not a fucking thing you can do about it. That is the worst thing in the world to trigger this hyper emotional reaction that I have. So pretty much I was just not able to do that work anymore. And when you're my age, so I'm 60 years old, I can't get a job even if I could do the coding, which is also presents a lesser version of that problem. The version I get when I code is that I can't stop prematurely trying to solve problems because I get panicky about potential failure of the code that I'm working on. And so I get in these cycles of constant revision and refinement and what if and oh, what about this? And I never get anything done. I can never produce. I'm in constant fix mode. So anyway, but I can't even get a job doing that because I'm too old. Nobody will hire a 60-year-old coder. If they do, their back's against the wall, especially in today's environment when most people think I'll just go to ChatGPT and get it to write the code for me. So I'm in this situation where I can't perform management duties, and I can't, even if I could effectively code, I can't get the job coding. And that's pretty much all I've done my adult life. So I'm kind of fucked. And then physically, I ran into problems. Sorry, I'm ranting right now. I ran into problems when I had my physical issues. That I had complications from my surgery, and I have this thing where, because of blood flow problems that occur in my abdomen because of things that were complications of the surgery, certain adhesions and certain restrictions of major blood flow to my lower body, I can't stand for very long. I can't stand. I have to sit down pretty frequently. Well, try getting an entry-level job, or just a throwaway. Try going to McDonald's and getting a job, or the grocery store, or wherever, and getting a job when you can't stand up very long, and you're not in a wheelchair, and you don't have crutches or whatever. But people just think either A, you're a gold bricker, or B, that you're a danger to yourself or others because you're not physically capable of doing the job, which to some degree they're probably right. So it kind of puts you in in a fucked situation. Anyway, where I was going with that, as I was starting to give a reason for why I'm working on these little technical projects, and why I'm kind of happy about the fact that I'm actually getting some stuff to the functional stage and not falling into the abyss of constant problem solving. But it's also why I get a little worked up like I did at the start of the stream when things aren't working properly and start going, oh, wait a minute, I got to fix this, instead of just letting it go and doing it later when I'm not streaming. It's like, no, must fix, because if I let it sit there and percolate in the back of my head, knowing that there's a problem, something broken, something that I failed at, sitting there looming behind the game, it would have driven me crazier. All right, done seating, so I'm going to make myself a little squad here. Let's have fun. What do you think? What do you think we should do? Oh, here's an idea, and I wanted to get some feedback on this. I think Krabs suggested this, that I should do like a. He wanted it to be a channel point reward, but I want to raise the threshold.
Hey guys, we are seated, so if you want to ask your squads if people want to get into some armor, it would be great to get a tank up before the Germans get one up here.
Stop talking. I'm talking. Be quiet. What if I offered like a dono reward to get to pick my class, and then I would like the base level would be just, you know, minimal.
So I still need some nodes, please.
And then the next level up would be forcing me to like do armor, and then the next level up would be forcing me to do artillery and have to learn artillery. It makes me uncomfortable to even think about it, but I think it's within the realm of possibility of me being able to handle, and it sounds like maybe a potential entertaining reward, but I want to get some feedback on that, of what you think, whether you think that's Hey, I just jumped in because I'm going to build some nodes, if that's okay.
Of course, do your thing. Do you want me to request supplies somewhere for you?
I'm just going to do it in HQ. I'm just going to drop and switch to NG. So as long as we keep NG open for a little bit, I'll be fine. NG and support.
Okay, cool. Yeah, cycle away.
Okay. Look at me building nodes. I'm a team player. In case you forgot. In case you forgot, I am a MF and team player. I feel like such a child when I do that, when I don't say naughty words and use substitutes. It's such a child thing to do. See if I can get these to hang around a little while. deploy. Make sure there's no NG in the squad. No, or no support, I mean. All right. Sorry, I'm mumbling. Hey, BattleX. Never mind.
Recon planes coming up. I'll do marks.
Yeah, that's still good. So I'm using 11 Labs to generate the voices. They give you enough free credits that I can generate a bunch of predetermined voices. I can't afford to do the live thing where you have it, you know, you send it text and get the live voice generation, because that costs money. So I'm not going to do that right now. But man, that 11 Labs thing, those voices are really good. Much better than the built-in Microsoft ones. You know, the what are they? The Sappy 5 or whatever they're called. It still sound kind of robotic. And then you've got stuff like what's the one that everybody uses for streaming? I'm drawing a blank now. I do this a lot these days. Streaming TTS Monster. That's what it is. TTS Monster. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. Hey, Acknell, can you let me have oh, never mind. I've got my blueprint down. Just gotta wait for my, hopefully this doesn't disappear before my thing comes up. What sucks is I have to start my morning with coffee and I can't, fuck, my blueprint disappeared. I knew I should have done more than half. All right, I'll just jump in another squad. Assuming there is one. Is there another squad I can jump in as an NG? Yes, there is. Jig Squad, if I can get there before it fills up. So I'm looking into things like TTS Monster, things to live gen. Voices to try to give BattleX an actual brain and voice at some point, but that's still down the road. I don't have the sufficient hardware to make that work yet. Okay. I need to turn my my brightness up a little bit. Ugh. Whew. What are we up to? Up to 86 already. Let's turn your brightness up. All right. We'll get some supplies down up here. Well, the good thing is that I'm not getting too many false positives. I've been talking a bit, and I'm not getting too many false positives on the voice commands. I got one or two, but I haven't got many yet. Oop, I don't want to go there. I did the head bob there. I was trying to dodge, and I did my head instead of the keys. It's like I leaned so he wouldn't shoot me. The embarrassing part about having a camera on you while you game. I don't play this map a ton, so I'm not really familiar with which buildings have openings where. So my ability to predict where people are going to be is not very good on this map. And my reactions aren't great, so it's like any advantages I might have are kind of eliminated on this map. But my all my disadvantages are on full display. That's a ton of people. Man, they're taking out all of our garrisons. They're really working through our garrisons here. No Matt Pasty for me. It's probably my fault, isn't it? The entire other team is probably watching my stream. Of course. I think they slowed the water movement down on this map. It feels slower. Surprised I didn't break an ankle there. where the good spots are here. So I'm just gonna drop right about here. All right, now I'm just gonna fight. Fight, 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 fight. This is a pretty dramatic map. You know, they did a decent job of making the fire a kind of active lighting thing on this map. It actually kind of hurts you when you turn the brightness up like I did, in terms of it adds more glare. Okay. This, I believe, is where I died last time. If not, it's an identical building. Nope, this is where I died. And I thought a bunch of them spawned over here. It's just been an OP because I don't see anything. That's not good. Missed every shot. Now everybody on the fucking map is shooting at me. And my frame rate dropped to 30 frames a second. Not good. Okay, we saw where those guys were spawning there. So I'm going to back up a little bit more and try to flank around there. Again, I don't know the map well enough to know where I need to go to get around, so I'm just winging it. Where was he coming from? We capped, right? So that's going to take their spawn out. So I really should probably redeploy, but I'm not going to. How's my supply situation? I still have a couple minutes. I'll get in position to get ready to get supplies down. This guy's OP's hot. Shit. Hold on. Sorry, I gotta mute. Hold on.
Timex Atlantis 100, because 2/3 of the Earth is covered with water.
What's this stuff? Some cereal is supposed to be good for you. Did you try it? I'm not going to try it. You try it. I'm not going to try it. Let's get Mikey. Yeah. He won't eat it. He hates everything. He likes it. Hey, Mikey.
When you bring life home, don't tell the kids it's one of those nutritional cereals you've been trying to get them to eat. You're the only one who has to know.
If you think Fresh Perk flavor just comes in a tin, you haven't tried Taster's Choice 100% freeze-dried coffee in a jar. Taster's Choice looks and smells like ground roast and tastes fresh perked. And for you decaffeinated drinkers, Taster's Choice decaffeinated. Green label, same fresh perk flavor. Ground roast and Taster's Choice. Just try to taste the difference.
With the high price of new cars, some people are resorting to other means of transportation. But now there's the very affordable Hyundai Excel. Dependable front-wheel drive keeps you right on schedule. With room for 5, there are always plenty of seats. And with all its standard features, you can still buy it for a mere token, $49.95. The Hyundai Excel, private transportation the public can afford. Hyundai, cars that make sense.
Johnny Reb, hurrah, hurrah, most famous cannon you can get, hurrah, hurrah, oh Johnny Reb is ready now, load him up, wow, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home.
Be sure you get Johnny Reb, Remco's authentic Civil War cannon, $11.98, complete with loader, cannonballs, tow rope, and battle flag. Remember, every boy wants a Remco toy, and so do girls.
I'll get it. McDonald's Big Mac. The big sandwich with a great big taste that everybody's talking about.
2 all-beef patty, special sauce, lettuce... Oh, wait a minute.
2 all-beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun.
2 all-beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. Oh, got him!
2 all-beef patty, special sauce...
2 all-beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun.
2 all-beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, sesame seed bun. Got it.
2 all-beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun.
2 all-beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. I got it!
McDonald's Big Mac. Just give us the word.
2 all-beef patty, special sauce, cheese, lettuce, pickles, onions on a specially beat it.
You deserve a break today at McDonald's.
Where your dollar gets a break. Every day.
Honeycomb, honeycomb, yippee-yi-yay, have a honeycomb breakfast, and you have a great day, great honeycomb day. New Post honeycomb now is bite-sized Post honeycomb. For a crisp, crunchier treat at home, new bite-sized, rat-sized honeycomb. Honeycomb, honeycomb, yippee-yi-yay, have a honeycomb breakfast, and you have a great day, great honeycomb day.
New bite-sized Post honeycomb, crisper, crunchier, better than ever.
Come on, you guys. The sun's already up. It's going to be a golden day.
Let's eat.
Oh, those golden grahams. Oh, those golden grahams. Crispy, crunchy graham cereal, family breakfast treat. Oh, those golden grahams. Oh, those golden grahams. Golden honey, just a touch with Graham's golden wheat.
It's a great tasting part of a complete breakfast for the whole family.
Try those golden grahams and have a golden day.
Introducing the all-new 87 Nissan Pulsar NX.
Pulsar NX.
This is the new Aero shape, the low, wide stance, fuel-injected 16-valve performance.
Pulsar NX.
This is the sports car response, the sports car feel, the wide-open T-roof fun, the only way it comes. The quality and style is Pulsar NX. The name is Nissan.
Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Almond Joy's got nuts, Mounds don't. Almond Joy's got real milk chocolate, coconut and munchy nuts too. Mounds got deep dark chocolate and chewy coconut. Ooh. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Peter Paul, Almond Joy's got nuts, Peter Paul, Mounds don't. Because sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
In an old trail town, there was a gang of dirty guys they called the Bathtub Ring. Their boss was Dirty Bert. He'd plaster kids with dirt. He was having a real wild fling. Mr. Bubble called him out. Dirty Bert wheeled about and saw our hero swing. He got Bert roped and tied. He scrubbed Bert's dirty hide. And he cleaned up the bathtub ring. Take a bath with Mr. Bubble and give Dirty Bert a lot of trouble.
For every man who wears Brute, there's a woman who loves what he smells like. There's something about Brute that's nice to be close to, and nobody knows that better than a woman.
Honey, I was just thinking about you.
Brute, it smells like a man. And now, Brute invites you to enter the over-the-top Brute sweepstakes. Win one of 10 Brute Dodge 4x4s. Entries where Brute gift sets are sold.
We made some changes that I know you are going to love.
Marty, I'll love it when I see it on paper.
Why wait for overnight delivery to make a business decision?
This won't fly, Marty, but my client will.
Fax what you need in seconds over AT&T long distance.
You gotta do more.
It's the most efficient way to send hard copy or pictures most anywhere.
Frank, now you're talking business.
You two are now one super agency.
For all the facts,